Hi Leo, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica. Welcome to the channel. I'm so happy that you found me. This is your mid-March 2017 video where I'm going to pull 6 tarot cards and 2 oracle cards for you. I also want to let you know that we are now under the influence of a Venus retrograde. So I'll have your Venus retrograde playlist show up in the information bubble above. And I'm also going to have your March astrology and tarot video, the beginning of the month video, show up in that information bubble. So, what I'm doing now is shuffling my tarot cards for you, Leo. And I'm sorry about my voice if it sounds weird. I was exposed to a lot of pollen this weekend, and my voice definitely sounds like 2 octaves lower. I don't feel like I'm sick, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I may sound a little weird. If that's the case, I'm sorry. I apologize. How are you doing, Leo? That lunar eclipse has probably started to impact and play out in your world in one way or another. We had a lunar eclipse at 22 degrees of Leo at the beginning of February. Lunar eclipses are associated with endings, resolutions, culminations, the tying up of loose ends. Sometimes we have a hand in that, and sometimes we don't. Lunar eclipses are also associated with feminine energy, so I wonder how it's going for you. I do hope that you're well. I've got the cards shuffled, and I'm going to go ahead and lay them out now. The bottom card always represents the underlying theme or overarching energy in my spreads. The first card, top, represents the present. The second card represents the past energies. The third represents the possible obstacles. The fourth represents the possible help in the situation. And the fifth represents the possible outcome. Now I'm going to shuffle the Divine Circus Oracle deck. This is by Elena Fairchild. The artwork is by many different artists. She commissioned many artists to work on this deck, and it's really quite striking. Let me cut. There's your Divine Circus Oracle card. And now I'm shuffling the Crystal Mandala Oracle deck. This is a deck that is also by Elena Fairchild. The artwork for this deck is done by Jane Marin. Several of you have reached out to me and told me, either in private messages, through comments on the videos, or in email, that you have decided to get this deck. I'm happy I could help introduce it to you if this is where you first saw it. It is quite a lovely deck. It has a lot of different messages that it brings forth. And there's your Crystal Mandala deck card. Alright, Leo, what I'm going to do now is hit the pause button. Flip these cards over. I'm going to do the tarot math, and I'll be right back with your story. Hang tight, y'all. I'll be right back. Hi, Leo. I'm back with your cards, so let's get started. The underlying theme or overarching energy for this reading is the Hierophant card upright. The Hierophant is the 5th card of the Major Arcana. This speaks to the 5th house on the astrological wheel, which is the house that you rule, Leo. It's the house of sparks and the house of it's where your fingerprints and DNA are, because it's where you have the most skin in the game. It's where you go to blow off steam. It's where you seek pleasure in your social circles. It's where you fall in love. It's where you create your masterpieces or your babies. So it's the house of your pleasure seeking, your social circles, your children, and your creative endeavors. The Hierophant as a Major Arcana card is representative of the zodiac sign Taurus. And we just had Mars move into Taurus, and this is in your 10th house. And that's the house of Capricorn. When I think of the 10th house, I think of it through the lens of a William Shakespeare quote. He said, all the world is a stage, and the 10th house is the stage that you approach the world on, and it's how the world knows you, through your career, your status, your reputation. It's through your interactions with authority figures in your world, authority figures in your life, and authority figures in their field of expertise, like a professional. The 10th house is also the house of destiny. So you may be dealing with a lot of energy, impulse, or aggression moving through that 10th house in one way or another. This card is representative of a determined, stable, or stubborn type of energy. You may be dealing with that sort of energy throughout the month or the rest of the month. But this card indicates that you may be dealing with authority figures. Speaking to Mars going through that 10th house. You may be dealing with spiritual or moral developments in your life, in your world, or in the world surrounding you. Could also indicate a search for meaning or the possible initiation of a spiritual journey or quest for some. Really just depends on what's going on in your independent chart. Now the card that's at the center of the spread, which represents the present energy at hand, this is the Six of Cups. 6 represents the 6th house on the astrological wheel, and that house is ruled by Virgo. That is the house of your work and health, or the competency and skills that you bring to the services that you provide. It's also your daily to-do list and your daily life. Now what's interesting is that you had a full moon in Virgo. That played out in your 2nd house, which rules Taurus, or which Taurus rules, and that's the house of your money earning ability, your self-esteem, the house of mind, the things that you love and you want near you, and you want to know what's going on with it down to the last cent, or where your favorite sweater is, or you get it. Another interesting thing is that you are undergoing a transit, a very long-term transit of Pluto in the 6th house. And when I think of a Pluto transit, I think of coastal erosion, because it's something that's going on every day, every minute of every day, but we just don't recognize it until we have a meta perspective or a before and after picture. This card, I feel like, is probably dealing with an Aries in some way. Whenever I see a red hood or a red hat, it makes me think of the zodiac sign of Aries, because red is indicative of fire. That's how I see it in the card, fire signs. And Aries rules the head, so I always think of Aries when I see a red head or red hat, that sort of thing. The cups represent water sign energy, and the water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So it may be that you are concerned about a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or someone who has some Aries in them as well. Looking back on the situation, probably being reflective. This card, when I see it by itself, it is, I see it as a nostalgia card. I see it as looking at the past with rose-colored glasses. It could be that you are experiencing someone from your work or someone from your past that you dealt with on a regular basis coming back into your world or in your life, or wanting to in some way extend an olive branch. And it may be that you're not wanting to do that. It could be a former employer. It could be someone that you worked with. It could be someone that you know through like the medical profession as well, because it does deal with the health area. When I see this card in the upright, I also think of it as charitable giving without concern for yourself, because you have enough for yourself and those around you to where you can share and spread the wealth. But in the reverse, it could be that you feel like it could feel like you need to call on the favors of people that you've once helped, and it may be that you are being denied in one way or another as well. And I hate that, Leo. I hate giving you that news. The card in the past is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords Swords is either a message or messenger. This is, if it is an individual, they could be of the air sign variety, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. This could also be you if you have any of the air sign qualities in your chart. Strong air sign qualities. We all have air sign representation in our charts. This individual, if this is an individual, it could be someone who is, like I said, air sign variety, or it could be someone who is being, who's manipulating facts, hashtag alternative facts. It could be someone who is being deceitful or deceptive, or is misrepresenting the truth, or is only repeating what they've been told and they were given false information, so they're repeating it in some way. It could be that the situation around whatever it is that has arisen, it's like this guy's not, he's foggy headed. There's clouds around his head. He's not seeing it clearly. Another thing that's interesting is this Page of Swords in the past is looking towards this present situation. So it could be that you are like dealing with situations that may feel like deja vu in certain areas of life as well, or seeing it through different eyes, more mature eyes possibly. The Page of Swords, though, like I said, with him being in the reverse, it feels like there's dishonesty or something coming around about this. It could be that this Venus retrograde is giving you an opportunity to see this situation or this person through a different light. The possible obstacle in the situation is the Queen of Wands. She is a very fierce female. She is of the fire sign variety. This would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Now, what's interesting is Venus is transiting through Aries, but for you, this is your 9th house. And the 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius. So I feel like this is indicative of probably some of the obstacles that you are dealing with. Could be that you are reassessing a feminine fire sign energy. It could be that you are looking or reassessing a person's, even like their sexual history. And I say that because this card, this Queen of Wands card, of all the queens in the tarot deck, she is the only one who has her knees apart. And a long time ago, people saw that as a promiscuous sign. I don't see it that way because hashtag feminism. But I call her an eager queen. She's eager to stand, eager to fight, eager to do whatever F word she wants to do. And that 9th house being ruled by Sagittarius is where Venus is transiting through. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, harmony, also money and resources. So the obstacle could be one of a couple different varieties. You could be wanting to travel. You could be wanting to go to school. You could be focusing on a foreigner, someone who is of foreign birth or foreign to you. Now, if this is someone who is returning from the past, and you had a good relationship and things just, for whatever reason, timing wasn't right or something, there was no infidelity and no lying, then Venus bringing this individual back may be giving you another opportunity at love. But if it ended on bad terms, then Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. So if it ended on bad terms, unless there's been some tremendous growth on both sides of the issue, then there's nothing to say that it won't end that same way again. But this, I feel like this is really speaking to that Venus retrograde in the 9th house. There's a lot of stuff going on in your 9th house anyways, Leo. That's your worldview expanded through study or travel. It's higher education, long-distance trips, adventures, and questing. It is the study of foreign languages. astrology, religion, philosophy, legal system matters, political system matters, and it governs foreign people, foreign places, and foreign things. So the obstacle is, in my opinion, this Venus retrograde. Either bringing people back into your world, maybe making you feel a little paranoid. If you're in a relationship, you may be looking at it differently, and just understand that it's giving you an opportunity to see what you value. And if you no longer value it, then it gives you an opportunity to release it so it can be valued by someone else. Now, the card that represents a possible help in this situation is the Queen of Swords. And I feel like this is the energy that you need to employ. This is the only card that's in the upright in the heart of this spread, outside of the Hierophant. So, the Hierophant deals with authority figures, and it may be that you need to either talk to or speak to a lawyer or an advocate in some way. The Queen of Swords she's like a debater. She's like a politician. She's a lawyer. She's a professional who knows the facts and who knows the situation and isn't afraid to defend that situation. She knows the logic. She knows the rhetoric. She's got the case ready. The only other way that I would see this as a professional would be like someone who does cutting professionally. So that would be like a hairstylist or a surgeon, maybe a horticulture expert. But yeah. The clouds are not around her head. She sees the situation clearly for what it is, and she's not so much wrapped up in the emotion of the situation. She is looking at the facts and staying grounded in the facts and in the reality of it. She could be a Gemini, a Libra, or Aquarius, or it could be someone who you know that has strong air sign qualities to them as well. And I want to say, okay, I did all but Leo and Virgo's videos last night. I just got too tired and I wasn't able to focus. So, I want to say Gemini had the Queen of Swords in the very same position that you had. I want to say it was Gemini that had the Queen of Swords and the Hierophant show up, but it was in reverse. So you may want to watch the Gemini video, Leo. There may be some synchronicity in there for you. And Leo, you showed up a lot in the Cancer video as well, I believe. So there may be some messages for you there. I just want to give you what I can remember. I'm sorry I slept. The card that's in the possible outcome for you is the Seven of Wands. The 7 represents that seventh house on the astrological wheel. That house is ruled by Libra. That is the house of your partnerships, relationships, and how you identify who you are as a human being through those interactions with others. It's also counseling and open enemies. It could be that you're finding out about someone who was at one time a friend but is now more like a frenemy. This definitely could feel like you are taken off guard and needing to defend yourself and your territory in one way or another. You could be feeling very defensive, and you could also be feeling like people are literally coming at you and coming for you. Do you see all of it's like these other wands are poking and like prodding this individual, pushing him further and further back. And he's ready to defend. He's got his hands, he's in a defensive stance. The fact that it's in reverse could be, like I said, that you're taken off guard. It's like your world may be turned upside down in one way or another, dealing with either a Libra or something either in the partnership sector of your world or dealing with counseling and open enemies. Whatever it is, it feels like you've been... kind of feels like you got sucker punched, but you're dusting yourself off and trying to recuperate and rebalance yourself in one way or another. The wands represent the fire signs. Once again, that's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. You may be taken off guard by an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. You may take yourself off guard. I mean, you may have like a realization in a relationship that really just rocks your boat, that really knocks you down. And it may be that there needs to be conversation had. Okay, Leo, I did the tarot math for you, and it ended up totaling to 18. 1 plus 8 is 9, and that's that 9th house that I was speaking about, where Venus is going retrograde, and you've got a lot of different energy going on. You've got the planet Uranus that is representative of shocks and surprises, change, liberation, and rebellion in your 9th house. The house of foreign people, foreign places, foreign things, your worldview expanded through study or travel. You've got Venus retrograde through this 9th house, which also deals with legal system matters. And this female lawyer card that I see her as sometimes is in the help position. She looks like she's the only one who's able to defend you, is what it looks like. But yeah, you've got Uranus in the 9th, you've got Venus retrograde in the 9th, the sun has just now moved into your 9th house. Happy spring equinox, y'all. And you're going to have a new moon at the end of the month in that 9th house. Lots of energy going through the 9th house. That 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius, so it may be involving or surrounding dealing with a Sagittarius in your world. And if you do, or if it is involving a Sagittarius, understand that they're going through a Saturn transit right now. They're dealing with limitation, structure, and containment issues where they may be really feeling restricted in one way or another. Saturn is a very difficult transit to deal with. If wherever Saturn is transiting, if it is not built to code, like a building inspector would say, if it is not built to code, it will be knocked down and rebuilt for your betterment and hopefully to make you a stronger, better person. So, could be revolving around a Sagittarius, lots of 9th house energy, like I said. Alright, let's move on to the Oracle cards. I pulled for you from the Crystal Mandala Oracle deck this is the 40th card. It is Goddess Saraswati in the Ammonite gemstone. It reads from word to world, and it is associated with the Crystal Goddess's 888 vibratory messages. The Crystal Goddess 888 vibratory messages are imbued with the aspects of mastery, power, strength, authority, and leadership. It asks that you trust that you have the wisdom and the power to be a powerful light of love in this world. And Leo, you rule the heart. You're here to show us all how to love. You're here to show us how to have a healthy ego and how to love. This card indicates that you are being blessed with the creative power of an open and activated throat chakra. Release your subconscious fears that are attached to speaking your truth or being silenced, and claim your true, divinely inspired voice. Whatever you wish to experience, create, or manifest, speak of it with joy. Understand that through the frequency of our being, we attract all kinds of things, people, and experiences into our life. So be mindful of your vibe. Remember that your vibe attracts your tribe as well. The easiest way for you to change your frequency is to consciously choose your words. There is a message that is tied to this oracle card, and it indicates that you must use your voice. Speak your truth and your desires in love, Leo. The second oracle card that I pulled for you is from the Divine Circus Oracle deck, and it is the 27th card of this deck. Wait one second. Before I continue, let me do the numerology of this card. 4 plus 0 is 4, and that speaks to the 4th house. That is the house of home and family, or roots and foundations. Home is where you live and where you consider home to be. Family is who you share that home with. That can be your parents, your spouse, your partner, your children, your fur babies, house guests, housemates, or roommates. Your internal roots or foundations would be your bones or your teeth, and your tightly held religious beliefs and philosophies and your opinions as well. It could also speak to the structure of your house. That would be the actual foundation, the studs or the plumbing, as well as the electrical circuitry of your home, or the roots of the trees and flora around your home as well. So, now that I've done that, I feel better. It didn't feel right me not finishing off with I always talk about the numbers too. I got ahead of myself. Sorry, y'all. So, now from the Divine Circus Oracle, this is the 27th card of the deck. 2 plus 7 is 9, and that speaks to that 9th house where you have a lot of energy going through. That 9th house, once again, ruled by Sagittarius. It is the house of your worldview expanded through study or travel. This is the house of foreign people, foreign places, foreign things, your higher education. It is adventures and questing. It is long distance trips. It is the study of foreign languages, religion, astrology, philosophy, legal system matters, and political matters. You have Venus going retrograde in the 9th house. You have Mercury in the 9th house. You have the Sun newly moved into the 9th house. And at the end of the month, we will have a new moon, a seed to be planted in that 9th house. A lot of synchronicity in that 9th house for you to pay attention to, Leo. Pay attention to the Sagittarians in your world, and pay attention to those foreign people, foreign places, and foreign things. The long distance. It will all be very important to you. The Dark Harlequin card indicates that you will be or have been diving deep into darkness, but there's a purpose attached to it, and it is your healing. Now is the time for you to ask the difficult questions and be willing to change by letting go of how things are supposed to be right now. Expect the unexpected. Recognize that the messier the inside of whatever, the more dramatic and complete the total transformation will be. It asks that you do not be afraid to discover the undiscovered parts of yourself. And if you are facing a giant wall of I don't know, it is because you are growing, and it indicates that you need to experiment more. This card also makes me think of a Mexican proverb that reads, they tried to bury us, but we were seeds. That may be what gets you through the rest of this Venus retrograde or this month, Leo. Adopting that mantra of, they tried to bury me, but I was seeds. Or I am a seed. So, I hope you enjoyed this reading, Leo. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. I do hope that you're well, Leo. I know that you've been through a lot here recently. Understand that you're going to have some new beginnings coming towards the end of the year, too. August, you will experience a solar eclipse, and that will be new beginnings. But you will also feel very tired because it will be a total solar eclipse, and the sun is your ruling luminary. But we'll get more in depth about that closer to that time. Please, please, please take care of yourself, Leo. Please be kind to yourself, and please save some of that kindness for others, because we're all struggling through private battles in our world that some of us may never speak about to another living soul. I will see you for the April videos coming up very soon, because I have one video left now to record, and that is the Virgo video, and I'm going to get on that right after I finish this one. So, send me some loving energy in that regard. I do apologize for these videos being out as late as they were. I did a debate tournament weekend before last, and this past weekend I spent it with my sons. So, I hope you understand why and where I put my energy where I did, and I haven't forgotten about y'all, but I do have a lot of things on my plate that I am responsible for as well. So, thank you for being gracious with me as well. I do appreciate it more than you know. So, I'll see you soon, probably sooner than you realize. But until then, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself. Namaste, bye, and I love y'all.